almost got prepared. Me, I'll... No,
You're not trying to escape, are you?
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead I became part of their story.
Well, look what the dog dug up. You're lucky they didn't notice just how thin you were under those bandages. Although, seeing someone wrapped up like that, they probably thought you had the scabbing plague. Heh? Better keep that hood down, mind you. The living don't take kind.
You're there. Not too tight, I hope. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and you'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. No, you're alive, and you're having a conversation. You are on a ship.
Index fingers pressed to her lips. She pauses a moment to...
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most like a new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good... Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells?
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then...
You better stop before you hurt yourself. There you have it, see? The collar's function. It... for your own peace...
It seems as though...
My, these smelling salts are strong stuff.
That can't be natural.
Good gods.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon. Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your cold. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Or it's a small ship. His name was Finn. Oddball. Looked to me like he saw something he wished he hadn't before he came here. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder, not with that collar on you, aren't. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among... Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Think about it. It's one of you who got... Who's your real enemy here? You let me know if you hear anything.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like. Rolling dice. Deciding fates. Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile.
Never say never, though.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the... I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last.
She looks at you in surprise when you bare an arm of bone.
My. Guess I'll have to find out the memory from
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a...
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. You were thinking of flesh. Or, to be rather...
She pats you on the shoulder,
There, don't you worry, darling. I don't lick and tell.
I'm here because I'm magic. Are you... Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer.
You look like my daddy. His name is Frida. He's...
Ah, there you are. Husband, would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman? How very correct you are, spouse of mine. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoots...
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and get, and maybe I'll sing...
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? Like yourself, maybe. I don't mind the kiddies. You thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive... You take care, though. Nope, trying not to find anything out, either.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish as quickly as they came. The clouds clear.
Good luck, Chief.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
Ask what you must. I've nothing to hide.
You one of them? A divine order loyal? They killed a sorcery.
There's a killer about, after all.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that? The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling.
And? A common sort of sound, isn't it? Where there's talk, there's health. That's all you hear, though. Listen close.
Bloody dwarves, I'll come back to you, but you better be ready to talk here.
There now, just like that. Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news. It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beaut? Pardon my beard. That means if we'd been traveling for... Yes, only 10... no indeed, boy.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
She got eaten by a void woken.
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in...
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin.
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this, and of course a cook who can't taste is about as useful as a dog in a chair. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor? Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic. A bag is as good. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's... Just as I thought. That explains. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry. I know, but you just don't have what it takes, still.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to... Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on...
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
Shoot to kill.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken fields.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable.
Well, perhaps...
I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more
A
concerned.
scruffy man lounges against the wall with...
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on...
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug. balancing its weight.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at it.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander, many.
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an... Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man...
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back...
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. The Joy? I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since... Wonder if we'll get to meet the Ringmaster himself. Not eager to bow before the great Bishop Alexander.
What are you conspiring about over there?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just gotta be in his...
Name.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls...
Away with you.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of
Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with...
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He reaches out and examines your bandages, rubbing them between...
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely...
It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history? Oh, please. I have no interest in that. No, I want to know about the Celestial. This text tells me that they created all creatures. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind? Of course you don't have... Now, please, run along. I have a world...
No amount of pestering will get...
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister, you faring okay so far?
He tugs the collar of his uniform.
Sorry you're upset. You head on in.
Keep with those bubbles trained on her.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a...
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the...
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar.
It means your journey draws to a close.
She reaches for her collar and simply removes...
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
before this thing snaps into splinters. Onwards and upwards.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with the skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley.
No. What damn fool. It catches fire. It turns into must when wet.
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the...
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to...
Yes, indeed. It's the look of someone that wants to read. Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have life. Please. I was no more an elf than... I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed. A mask that was stolen by that... Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools. Indeed. Just as sensible as getting... I would say good day.
The skeleton shrugged.
Something's pounding on the hull!
The marking on the door was painted. You press your... It doesn't budge. The door groans.
Something's breaking through! What in the hell's are those things?
Death fog. Good thing I'm immune. Still, this means trouble.
That means there's still a chance.
Shut your trap, kid. Children.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to...
Said there were other people down there.
You see those tentacles, kid?
Thank you, thank you, thank you! There's a ladder right over there.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
Walk. Get yourself up the ladder. Wait! Void Woken!
I thought Void Woken was too scary.
I've faced worse.
Let the games begin.
Hurts, doesn't it? Ha! Into the dark with you. Prepare yourself.
They who are about to triumph. Glory is mine.
These beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
Away! The sea's hungry. We don't have much time.
Let's head above decks for some air.
I hear something. It's Magister Siwan, who want to put on this damn collar.
Sounds like she needs help. Playing dead, are you? Probably a good idea.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she with jagged blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror. Blood pours out from around the bandage. Magister Siwan reaches out. It's working. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboard Siwan struggles.
Ripping the ship apart! This is it! She's going down!
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Those Voidwoken made short bloody work of the ship. My The lone survivor. This must be Fort Joy. I thought the Order would get rid of any trace of the old Source King. Garbage.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
The child considers your statement.
You're weird. Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching the shadows.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where it... But you didn't die. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what you'll see. I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship.
You. I know you.
Those things at bay. Drowned and eaten by a Voidwoken. Wondering which order. Cat. I've spotted something.
Here lies a nameless inmate. May he find the peace denied him in life in the Hall of Echo.
I've spotted something. Wonder where this leads.
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it. He's leaning over a corpse.
Bugger. How on earth am I supposed to...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards.
Damnation. That's stuck fast. Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh. It's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Why, it's face, of course. A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his... I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip... I could then craft a mask to hide my bone.
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body...
Because my own was stolen from me! And the idea of being chased across Rivellon by every... I hardly need to tell you how these savages react to... Oh! Get away! Monster! Hi! You are simple beasts. And you simply do not like my... What? So, if I am to traverse this land, I will need a mask to disguise my features. Oh, don't be ridiculous. I have important things to do on... I cannot simply sit about waiting for the rest of you to die so I may continue my business in... Indeed. I may be the only Eternal, at least from this realm. As for the others, Well, a cult? Hardly. We were a race that exists. I could ask you to imagine an eternal as a creature. We studied the mysteries of the universe. We create, but I will find them. Wherever they are, I will. Well, that is the curious thing. Every one of your races resembles them in some manner. Perhaps my people have ascended to some new realm. Regardless, they are not here. But I will find them. I suppose, circumstances being... You seem more... excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in... Of course, the arcane arts are mine. Ah, you seek a more subtle approach. How surprisingly civilized. Very well. What do you require? I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, splendid. Very well. Let's be off.
Hey, mister. Is there I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one... Now where should I put this one?
You spot a strange lizard. Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer. Or a duelist.
Yes, I imagine you do. You're made of sterner stuff. Chances are I wouldn't have survived the shipwreck. Had you not returned to the... You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Now then, if there's nothing further. If you really must know, I haven't quite decided yet. I've a frightful amount of things.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Touché.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see continents dotted with mighty cities, and shimmering along the soft curve. Yes, but these weren't castles in the...
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply...
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Oh, may the seven have mercy on... I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all the grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snap. This and that. Tag along. On the other hand, I really could do with a dog's body. And you've already... Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet... I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise. You do tend to beat around the bush, don't you? Oh, well, that wishy... Oh, my word. How you do astound. Come now, did you really think a handful of linen towels can fool me? But don't worry. I have studied the arcane arts for years, including necromancy and demonology. I do not hold the petty... So, now that that's settled, first things... Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. Very well. Onwards then...
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include your As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it.
We already know the truth, Magister. Now speak. Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no...
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Stay silent, lizard!
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its...
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would... The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe...
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
Come on then, Lexi. Pay up.
I find any bread. I want no trouble.
Bread or a brisket?
Did you see him? You did, right? Those claws. That, Magister, that was Bishop. Ha! More the fool you. Day is night, and night now ain't you move along.
Oh, I got my eye on you, Scaly. Don't try any of that sauce. Don't make promises you can't keep, filth.
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself, they were so close. A kin, is it? A traitor cannot be murdered. A traitor can only receive the divine orders, all that stands between everything you see and avoid Woken's throat. Believe it or don't. The divine order doesn't need...
Come on then, Lexi. Pay up.
You gonna pray all day, buddy?
This is not your business, Long Pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Especially
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing wealth.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is...
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before shuffling back to the...
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff. Especially not one of you.
Burrow looks you both up and down, sizing up...
Ah, get out of here. The both of you.
The elf smiles and bows...
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
Ifan rolls his sleeves back.
Good work there. Good work. I can tell you've got chops.
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours. He grips your hand tight as a vice and pauses. His fingertips feel your finger bones. His eyes narrow.
Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safely on dry land. I could use someone to watch my back. I've just got a small errand to run. And then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here, while I've still got a neck to collar. How about we stick together the usual way? Haphazard, terrifying, and drenched in blood. 2 heads are better than 1. And when push comes to shove, 4 fists are better than...
He grins, sharp teeth glittering in the mid...
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide... Survival's my main priority. Dexterous arts. What are you looking for? Like I said, you want someone who can keep you alive through means both natural and can do. Onward.
He scans the horizon for threats with one...
Right you are.
Stay down, you! Hey, I know you.
Losa, the dark-eyed jokester you met aboard the ship, waves enthusiastic.
Back then, I was... you. Glad to see you made it. Nothing like a nice tentacle slap across the moor. Me too. Did you hear something? When you were in the water, I mean. I heard the same thing. Do you know what this means? It means I'm not the...
Losa's voice catches in her throat. The joy drains from her face. She is stock-still, waxy-skinned, her eyes dark. Her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes' light suddenly flashes back into her face.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Ah, yeah. It was a shipwreck, all right. Not much more to say about it, I guess. Papa Joris used to tell me, Losa, he'd say. Applies to a lot of situations, actually. Vermin tend to know what's what. Ah, it's nothing really. It's just... I'm just a bit... well, a bit... Put it like this. You've never been a host, I bet. But I'm a roadside inn. Like a goddamn gold star inn for the disembodied.
She gives you a searching look.
You seem pretty well adjusted. Ain't that just the truth? So, how are you enjoying the joy? Yeah, same story here. Reckon in my case they must... So, you want to check this place out together? Strength in numbers and all that. It does, right? Before we head out, I've got more than a few tricks up my sleeve. Lately, I've been into the enchanting arts, but I can shoot. Sounds fine. So, yeah? Hey, wait a sec. It looks like you have all the company you need. Till then.
Bow your head, please! If we chant the endless prayer, the next It isn't the words you speak, but rather that you speak them. Prophecy says that... Haven't you heard? Bishop Alexander, the Divine's own son, is God. Do not doubt that he will come into his power.
Ifan strides up to the Magister, speaking in a calm and controlled voice. Though you can't hear what he whispers, the Magister's face turns whiter than snow as he hands a note to Ifan with shaking hands.
Don't! I'll give you the information.
Ifan catches you looking over at him. He barks a laugh, then...
I wanted some information. That Oh, it's just practice. All in the way you I only do it when it's necessary. And that's about the size of it for me, all right.
After reading the scrap of paper... The Magister stares at the ground, unaware...
The Divine is dead. The Bishop is all we have left. Yes, our Lord Bishop is human, and so is his
Her voice trails to silence, and she resumes...
I do wish Alexander would ascend sooner rather than later. They say his powers are not developing as they should. They blame the Voidwoken. It's quite the pickle. Hmm? Oh, yes. Only a week or two before. But who didn't then? He was driving the Black Ring back. I wish it every night. More than anything, I put my faith in the Bishop.
Leave me. Go.
She bends over double in a violent coughing fit. As it...
Mercy. I hope that it is. Can't stay here.
Frightfully busy at the moment, love. Haven't got any liquor on hand, have you? This fella could use... Wait, look at that. Just what I ordered. Ain't you? Poor fella over there crossed one of Griff's card sharks and...
Oh, Emmy. A little reprieve from the din outside.
No one tells me there are so many children. Stay in this cave a while longer. Provoke Modi.
A human? You stink. No. I'm a lizard. Yes, you were. Whack! Back, evil ogre, or I'll get you with my sword! sword! I'll spare you this time, beast, but don't you're really fun. Hey, ready? Go! You go!
I've spotted something.
Oh! Wow! I know how to spell intrigue.
One must put in due effort if one is to reap the proper reward.
My way is too small for you. You'll have...
You're back! And you brought... But who's this?
Wither, this is my new friend.
Please, small child, leave me to...
But he's really nice and tall.
Why? A grown friend? You brought an... Good sir. You've set my body free. Free to crumble to dust at last. Then you may be glad you've escaped the curse of After he interred me in this cell, he must have drawn my very... But I know this place well. I could lead you to its likely location. In turn, marvelous, my friend. Marvelous. You'll first have to get inside the fort. The switch will open a hatch, and you'll be led into the prison's main floor. Brachus would have made me a supplicant, a slave to these walls. Death without your soul is no death at all. I was fully briefed about this awful place before I came. My goal was to destroy the fiend who had been marshalling the world's most... I never thought I would become one of his victims. Fort Joy is a dangerous place, my friend. Dangerous indeed. Here, he and his researchers crafted punishments and snares contrary to human dignity.
Thank you for your help with that, thug. Rare is the human who goes against their own for an elf.
The elf appears momentarily puzzled by your comment, but then offers...
As far as I'm concerned, you are noble and just, in both actions and appearance. I hear of no escapes. The only way out is through. In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. She knows. It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. We are making beautiful magic. Wait, before you go, I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. I save it for a special occasion. Thank you.
The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns toward you when you approach. She smiles as though she recognizes you, though she couldn't have seen your face.
Ah, hello. I see you come a long way. I see you come here seeking a great adventure. I see it before my eyes. Your life is not your own. Your life is for us all. I cannot say more.
Her eyebrows shoot up.
There can be a way. Amiro knows. My protector, my friend. An elf like me, with a spirit bright as new. He is caught by those who hurt him. I wish so much for his return. You bring me great peace. Thank you. I see something that helps. I see a lizard. He is a... Yes, please ask. Oh, I do not cover my eye. He is a very blind man. He sees things you understand when you meet him, after you escape. It is safer here. We make no trouble for Griff. He makes no trouble for us. My home is far. Your language gives me some trouble. We elves, I knew we must be here. I am not sure how much to explain. You are here, and so we are here. I feel him, but I do not see him.
The old dog looks up at you but doesn't lift his greying head from his paws. He heaves a...
I'm Buddy.
The tip of his tail starts to wag.
It's no use anyway.
The dog tentatively sniffs the offering, then...
You're nice. Emmy would have... She was my mate for the last 7, carried the 2, plus 5. Say.
Amid the squalor of Fort Joy, she was the one who sat rolling dice in the ship that went under. Her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away. And you get the distinct feeling no sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold.
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Better tell me who you really are, or this time, to you I am this pressing pain you wish would go away, but won't.
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face her. The needle still, despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice something that remained undetected in the gloom of the ship.
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a bad old time, a lizard cut this, but now I'm free. Of sorts. And I've traced that lizard here. I intend to raise the subject with him. No!
She drives the needle in deeper and whispers.
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. You saw me mark my prey. That makes you a liability. That makes you needle feed.
A bright sparkle of laughter followed.
Ha! How amusing. I make your case and do it quickly. Why should I join? Escape. How you do... Well played. Oh, little needle mine, what should I... You know what? Today is a rather fine day. Sunshine... I'm not quite sure the weather will say...
With a casual flick of the wrist, she withdraws the needle from your neck and...
Yes, the needle did find you rather tough to chew. Then again, I already knew I'd have to push. This may strike you as, rather eccentric.
She tilts her head ever so slightly and looks at you almost mockingly. You can't help but contemplate with both dread and...
Yes. Let's discuss our respective roles. You, me, and Death will be playing many a round of hide-and-seek. As a rogue, my speciality is stealth. The quick silence of the dagger suits me fine. Then follow me. But wait. You seem to have quite a few...
So this is Fort Joy.
Delivery. Surely you'll have one. What a crumbling disaster.
Griff is slowly, methodically peeling the skin from a potato. As you approach, he looks up.
What? Who's asking?
He smirks and holds...
I'm listening. A Myro.
I guess you mean the clown I caught stealing, caught him red-handed trying to make off with a second crate after he took the first. Supplies. A crate of... All I want is my supplies. Worse than war rations, these.
I know that look well enough. You're about to pop, you'll find out.
Crate I'm after. But where are the contents?
Just as you're about to address the lizard, the Red Prince...
This man is a dreamer. As you know, permission indeed.
He bids the dreamer stand up and pay attention. The dreamer then chews and swallows a handful of druid. He falls asleep. To your surprise, the Red Prince lies down and the Red Prince pinches the bridge of his nose in apparent irritation. Before turning his back, you receive a withering glance in response.
A deserved bit of sarcasm, I suppose. But though this sting-tail fellow may be a less than... Turns out I'm being hunted by an enemy I didn't know actually existed. The dreamers, though, they're on my side. That's because you haven't seen that other world in all its glory. Oh, I was born with the promise of an empire. But to keep it, I must find a second dreamer. Bahara is her name. And she resides in the swamplands east of the fort.
You know, I could tell you all about swamp dreamers too if I chewed that much Drudene.
Oh, do hold your prickly tongue.
Huh? What? But I was... It was... Please. And you smell of burnt hair and barren dreams. But I have the good breeding not to mention it. Oranges. Is that what he told you he's missing? Though I'd guess Mr. Griff is more upset about the Drudene than... The Drudene Griff cleverly smuggles into the prison, of course. Stuffed inside. No, it's not the oranges, but the dreams he's after. Same as I, though. Drudene, it makes you master of... It may be hard for you to understand. My kind, we dream for the great... Before I was caught, before I was brought here, I saw a vision, but just as I was about to see how it happened, the Magisters beat down my door. So you see, I cannot give back the Drudene, not only for myself, but to save a life. Ah, that elven fellow in the cage, I suppose. Never mind.
Take your coin then.
Griff glances from his blade to you.
Spare the indignation and hand it over. Now. Good boy. Looks like everything's accounted for. Now. That's a kid. Your guy's free to go.
You forget
It is done. I hold my end of the bargain. I show you the way out. Yes, yes, I become Sahela. She is everything. It is for all our people. Give me your map. I give you this amulet. You must pass it to the elves. I go to her.
Here you are. I wonder what keeps you. Tell me your tale. Here you are. I start from the beginning. Start from where you come. I see. I understand. Now tell me how your power. An older power comes from strength, and it is nothing. Many fragments swirl on my shore. See what I gather.
The woman looks out on the gently lapping waves.
Haven't seen you around here before. New? Hey, that'll happen here. You here alone?
She gives you a long look.
You keep them friends of yours close, eh? Not much in this world someone you love can't... It's nothing. If I haven't learnt that... Used to be I had a family. A husband. Then they brought us here. I couldn't stop him from taking my boys. Now I'm just waiting for him to call my name. Waiting, and...
Her eyes sparkle.
Kind of you to ask. Stefan, he was my little one.
She talks for some time about birthdays, about... Joy radiates from her as she...
What a gift to think of them. I'd like to give something to you too. Take care of yourself.
I found you, didn't I? Red, they said. Them that pay the bills, of course. Time's up, Your Honor. It's stabbing time.
Nuisance these assassins are. It's their frightful manners I mind the most, really. Well, that was rather fun, wasn't it? I do find one gets used to this kind of thing so quickly. I'll tell you what, though. Whomever all those bumblers they've sent so...
Better even to puke yourself to death than get purged, don't you think? Please, excuse us.
You're talking to me, not him.
Oh, for the love of Lucian...
Say it again. What you said about my wife. Go on, Sam.
Well, it's the truth, and you know it. She's better off. So what if it was messy?
A flat smile twitches.
She never did like...
The man looks for a moment at the corpse at his feet, then turns back toward...
Murder's a big word. And no, this here's a bed for someone 1,000 times better than that the love of my life. Gret. She passed in the night.
He tenderly runs a hand along the coffins.
If she were here, she'd tell me this plank is crooked. Chastise me for using warped wood on her final bed.
The man holds a...
I'll be with you soon, love.
The lizard's brow knits together, then apart, and back again. He seems...
The ground. I don't know what you... My mind? What else, my friend? I'm wondering why. No doubt the two are related. Perhaps if we can...
Ho ho! Ain't come to shake me down for my knickers, have you? Ho! Right kind of you, my friend.
When another divine lies.
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe.
Don't touch me. You're too close. This collar, this place. It's... I can't. How is it possible? 1 minute you're in...
Her hands move again to... The woman is scrabbling at her throat. As she catches sight of you, recognition flashes in her terrified...
Ben Mest! Ifan! Ben Mest! You killed... Keep him away from me! Help! Somebody... Stay back. Stay back. Keep that monster Ben Mest away from me.
You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you... In that case, listen up. You must think me mad to approach a stranger, but this camp is full of... I've been here a long time. Longer than anyone else. People... I have a way out of here. It won't be easy, and I'm... Are you interested? Attaboy. Who wouldn't? The plan's simple. Completely foolproof. I have a spell that I can use to teleport you right out of here. I can't use it on my... There's an artifact that you can use to teleport me out of this place. It's found its way into a nest of crocodilian. Not enough to trouble a fine Get that artifact.
I don't think I ain't watching. That's your fifth blue just
Stay back. Stay back.
Yeah, what of it?
Ah, grab it in your gobblers, the both of you.
Looky here, mate. Why don't you jump? Chuff to you, Chief. Here.
You glance at your hand.
Quite the hand, Freshy. Unfortunately, 2 is less than blaming a bloke you just met for your misfortune, are you? Ease off, or I'll go ahead and double what you are with pleasure.
Send us your children, your supplicants.
Where is he?
Greetings, child. I find myself in your so-called divine... There's no rest for the wicked. There's plenty of...
You there? I'm looking for an inmate. He wears a large bronze ring. Have you seen him? Useless. It is a very...
I'm not mad,
Where
darling.
is
I'm not
he?
mad. Sweetheart? Please. Please. You must help me. Oh, bless you. Bless Irma's her name. She's about as high. I'm sick with worry. Completely sick. This place turns people cold. Cold. I last saw her just here, near 3 days ago. Yes, of course. Here, you should take it with you.
She soaks.
She ought to come with you. You are an angel. I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart?
Come on, old man. I can't wait all day.
Irma? Where are you, darling?
He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
A fella can't hear him. Yeah, that Farah. You gotta cut that out. Known her all my life. Her little girl Irma. This straw don't even begin to cover it. And there ain't no amount of...
Ah, you're back. Please, did you find Irma? You've been talking to that snake. You stay away from that. Irma, Mummy's right here. Where are you?
When another divine arrives.
What's
Is
this?
that thing
I
eating
felt something.
corpses?
I am not opposed to manual labor if circumstances require.
The creature heaves through lips gummed with human gore. It turns to
You. Quite lost now. A little query. Where grows the yarrow?
The creature gingerly takes the plant into his bloodied...
Darling, dear. Dear, darling child.
The creature clenches the plant tightly.
You wouldn't understand. A father's...
The creature begins to weep. Fast, silent tears.
For you, my ring. Pretty.
Where is he?
I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad. Sweetheart?
Don't disturb me again, unless you've seen me go. You have seen him? Tell me, where was he? And you're very sure it was him?
She inspects the ring closely.
This can't be. You said he was upon the...
Yes. Is it an audience you desire?
Are you certain you want to...
Your loss.
I'd say we're making good progress
Are you certain you want to dismiss his eyebrows?
Can't say I'm not. Good luck out there.
Collared like a dog. A very tall, very strange-smelling dog. I'd like to see you try, meatbag. Sure, cutter through me like a tidal. But of course, they'll happily dump your meager bliss power is my birthright, same as yours. But one of us has grown to astounding heights. Ha! Of course, precious. But which is worst? Sorcerers dance while man...
Say he likes it big and strong. Comes it out all dilly.
Come on, you stubborn...
The dwarf's fingers clamp around a splintered chunk of wood.
Ah! Got two of my own, haven't I?
The dwarf spits into each of his calloused palms.
Bleeding nail must be... charmed or something. Yeah, go on then. Why don't you give it a shot?
You grab the plank and pull. But strain as you might...
Forget it. I'd offer you a cold one, if I had one, for your trouble. No, but I'd hope to build something with it that would be worth 1,000. Yeah, we're a fool's errand thinking I could make something.
He sucks a finger and holds it up to the wind, testing the breeze.
Winds like these, she would have capsized before she reached the break.
He gives you a wry look, as though deciding whether...
Aye, was planning to build me a raft and paddle off. Maybe you don't.
He stands before you and pokes you in the side.
There's something of you, you know? You don't have to accept your fate. Why don't we make a deal then? You help me. That's the spirit.
He lifts an invisible cap and bows with...
Pleased to make your acquaintance. The name's... well, the name's dead. May have been cast out, but you can bet your last heel of breed she wishes she hadn't have. I've taken my revenge 1,000. I'll tell you when you're older. Anyhow, we're a team now, so let's get down to brass tacks. I've been up and down the realm so often it'd make your cabbage spin. Then it's settled. Capital. Well, that's that sorted. Onward. Ah, well. My best mates. Now, onward! Not drawing many winning.
Are you certain you want to...
If we have different...
Need a void we can consume it all.
makes it thicker.
What's happened? What have they done to you?
Darling? Yarrow girl?
Is
Little Yarrow girl!
What have they done?
She looks at you with hatred etched.
I didn't want any of this. Ha! I'd die 1,000 deaths before I'd see this go unpunished.
She looks at her father and
As am I. It's strange. It almost...
She reaches out to touch her father's hand. He withdraws.
I had no idea. There were always rumors about the hammer. Dallas, I suppose. Wait, before you go, you've helped us a great deal today. Let me help you too. Take this key. I'll show you it isn't too late. What's happened? What have they done to you?
The beasts.
Mind your manners, Ram, quickly. So, what's the news? Well, I certainly got. Give me your map. Come, this way in the back. Follow me.
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. You peer behind it. The child quiets and seems comforted by your presence. The child nods and reaches up to you.
Thanks. You can have this. I found it upstairs.
She nestles back into her spot.
Go. Get out.
She eyes you suspiciously.
Please.
turtles. They're transforming. Swallowed too much seawater by the looks of him.
Foolish to attempt an escape by sea in these waters.
good find.
The shrine depicts Lucy and the Divine. You hear a...
Shrine, by the looks of it.
That face. It's all the droplet bird. The cat's eyes are clouded.
What? Huh? Yeah.
The cat opens his...
Is it not enough that you travel? Go on then. Bark away. Let...
Hello. You gonna pray all day, buddy?
Sahil, you are all right.
I am fine.
As you say.
I feel uneasy here.
The frogs are gone. The children shall be safer. I see.